Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. Great way to support the show is do what Tim Stack does. Go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood. You get bonus content for as little as $2 a month. And you can submit articles like this that are bringing us all up to speed. Lessons from a labor leader, Denver teacher strike of 2019. This is cool because we talked about this. There was a bunch of teacher strikes in 2018 and 2019, and many of them happened in red states. Colorado obviously isn't a red state, it's more of a purple state, but there were strikes in Oklahoma and Arizona and Kentucky and Texas, I think. When those strikes were happening, we talked about them a lot on this show. And this article that was written by one of the teachers and strike organizers is critical because it applies to today. I've talked a lot about labor. We're seeing since the quarantine how important labor is, right? All of these critical jobs, the frontline workers and people in, Amazon and Walmart and food distribution and grocery store and the truck drivers and all that stuff. We're really seeing how important those jobs are and why those people need to unionize and get better wages. So let's go into this article. My name is Mariah Cassadow-Cassidy. I'm an organizer with the Party for Socialism and Liberation and a high school teacher and union activist in Denver, Colorado. Public education in the United States has been under attack for decades. And during the last economic recession, budget deficits were used to justify devastating cuts to public education across the country. Weird! Never had money for education, but boy, we have money for war. The democratically controlled Congress just voted down a 10% reduction in the war budget, which is like $738 or $740 billion. It's out of control. They've increased the war budget over $130 billion since Obama. The Democrats have. $1.5 trillion just to design and come up with the F-35, a bomber we don't need. But boy, we don't have money for school. Isn't that weird? The CARES Act had $4.25 trillion to bail out Wall Street, but it didn't have money to bail out you and I. The $600 pandemic unemployment just ended. Is it going to come back? We don't know. But Wall Street always has money. The war machine always has money. We got money to bomb 7 countries, but we don't have money to feed and clothe and educate our own citizens. In Denver, half of teachers are driven to quit within their first 5 years, resulting in an extreme turnover rate. Of course, teachers' working conditions are students' learning conditions. So this is this author, this teacher, is just giving us a little sort of history, quick up to speed of how bad it was getting in Denver. The policies that created these conditions were promoted by Republicans and Democrats alike. Yeah, whenever they agree on something, whenever it's bipartisan support, that's when you and I are getting screwed. It's like you hear bipartisan, that means bend over and grab your ankles because both parties are coming for you. Just lube it up. They're going to just bipartisan. Bam. That's how they're going to do it. Denver, a city controlled by Democrats, pushed to privatize public education and made students into guinea pigs for anti-union privatization reform. That's another word. The reason I always highlight privatization, anytime you hear people say that, and again, it usually gets bipartisan support, privatization is bad for the 99%. Privatization, they always say, oh, it'll save money. It'll save money for the 1%. Schools aren't supposed to be profitable. Schools are for the betterment of society. A well-educated society is a smart society. You see that? They want us dumb. They want us dumb and fighting and divided. That's why there's people, I don't want to wear my mask. I want to carry my gun. The less educated we are as a society, the easier people are to manipulate and control, usually by fear. Keep people afraid. They'll do whatever you want. 9/11, terrorists. Okay, here's all of our rights. Patriot Act, take all of our civil rights. Oh, wait, now here we are 20 years later. There's federal agents in Portland, Oregon beating the shit out of people. Oh, well, how did that happen? Trump. Trump's doing it. He's absolutely doing it, but it was put in place by Bush and Obama. Let's not forget, again, more bipartisan ding ding right in the that's the you ever had a prostate exam? Bipartisan? It's 2 fingers. That's what that means. But anytime you hear the word bipartisan and privatization, run for the hills. You're going to get screwed over. In West Virginia, a state where public workers have no right to strike, you're not allowed to strike in West Virginia. A Facebook group calling for a Wildcat strike grew to 73,000 members in only 4 days. They did it on Facebook in a state where they're not allowed to strike. You see the power of the people? That's what this article is going to show you, the power of the people. And we're going to get into it in a second, but it's not like it's all these people with this lifelong career of being activists and union organizers. No. They just saw it. And West Virginia didn't have this experience either. They did it on Facebook. The conditions got so bad because most teachers are like, they want to help and they're like, I can't even do my job. Budget cuts. Oh boy, we don't have money for the arts programs. We don't have money for science. We don't have money for math, but we got money for war. Huh. No music programs, no nothing. Theater, music, cut. But we always got money for war. West Virginia teachers shut down schools in all 55 counties via Facebook across the state and forced a right-wing government to walk back damaging cuts and raise salaries in 2018. A right-wing, anti-union state, they made this happen. What's the message here? You have the power. Where you work, your coworkers, you have the power. We, the people, have the power, and we need to show the ruling class that we have it. We need to let them know we're in control, not them. Strikes took off in Oklahoma, Kentucky, Arizona later that year, sending a message that education workers had reached their breaking point. Red state, red state, red state. 4 red states: West Virginia, Oklahoma, Kentucky, and Arizona. So in February 2019, we voted to strike, which was a giant leap of faith. When you know you're in the right, when you know you're getting screwed over, you just sometimes got to do it. And take a leap of faith and get people with you and just do it. That's why all these protests, like a handful of people, like, we're going to go show up and protest. And then all more people show up. And then they put it on social media and everybody's showing up and now stuff's getting done. We didn't have a strike fund or even a union representative in every building. Most of us had never participated in a strike. So if you're like, yeah, but we don't have a union for my job. We work in this, factory and there's COVID or whatever. We're not allowed to have you. Look what they did in Denver, Colorado. No experience. Nobody knew no one had ever participated in a strike. I know it's scary. I know it's crazy. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's fun. But they did it. In one night, we were able to find a strike captain for each of Denver's 200 plus schools. The night before we were set to strike, the strike captains gathered at our union hall and did a last-minute training on how to walk a picket line. One thing teachers know how to do is organize. See, you might have no experience striking. You might have no experience organizing a strike. You may not have experience working in a labor union, but I bet you have other skill sets with your job that can be applied to this. What do teachers do? They organize lesson plans. They get everybody together. They get this class together, the school together, the vice principal together. So they did that. They had those skills. You see my point here? It's like the ruling class knows how to oil up their fists when you bend over, right? Boom, right? And you get boo. There's our 1%. How are we going to pay for it? A small group of young teachers with no formal roles in union leadership jumped into the organizing, working late into the night every night to plan actions, write and translate press releases, contact speakers, and plan march routes. Again, they weren't like career activists, union organizers. They were young teachers who, when they joined, wanted to become a teacher. I doubt they thought, oh, I'm going to organize a strike. Anybody can rally and do this, man. You'd be surprised. On February 14th, 2019, Denver Public Schools issued a tentative agreement guaranteeing big raises and an end to performance pay. In 3 days of striking, we were able to undo the damage of a decade of austerity and school reform policies. Part of the reason why they got it done in 3 days is because state like Arizona, their strike went on a while. And other states are like, oh, no, we can't have that happen. There was a strike in LA Unified School District, had a strike. It's the second largest school district in the country. So, frontline workers, if you're not getting what you want, shut it down, man. And people will follow suit. People are ready. People are fed up. People can't pay their bills. There's 28 million evictions that are looming. And billionaires have made record profits. So while you're barely able to pay your bills, or maybe you haven't paid your rent for several months, the billionaires have made over $430 billion. People like Jeff Bezos, people like the Walmart family. That's who is making money. While you and I are barely getting by. Happy about that? People who were not considered fighters, like women and care workers, became aware of our power and seized it. I know that workers like us have the power to defeat capitalism, and that when we organize and fight, we win. When we organize and fight, we win. It's a lot of awful shit happening right now, right? Anger is like fire. When it's out of control, it can burn, it can kill, it can do awful things. When fire is focused, it cooks, it heats, it makes glass, it makes metal. It does all these amazing things when it's focused. These teachers were angry and fed up, so they focused it and they organized. They got together. Get everybody together. Listen to everybody's ideas. Someone's going to come, well, we can do this, we can do this, we're going to go online. And now you know you have this roadmap. This is what they did in Denver. They were inspired by Oklahoma and West Virginia and Arizona and Kentucky. They went, damn, if they can do that in West Virginia where they're not allowed to strike, we can. That's the power of people. That's the power of organizing. That's the power of the internet and social media. That's how you found this show. Not because I bought ad time on CNN. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the show, Tim Stack, and all of you that support the show in many, many ways. Like, share, subscribe these videos. You can support me on rockfin.com/Graham Elwood or patreon.com/Graham Elwood. I have a P.O. box. I have a PayPal button. Those are all at grahamelwood.com. Thanks for watching the show. You're all making Gotham great again. Shave your knuckles for justice. Hey, everybody. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification button and the subscribe button, even if you've done it before, because they're unsubscribing, many of you, every day. Watch the ads all the way through. If you click skip ad, I don't get paid. Also, support us at patreon.com/Graham Elwood or rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. Rockfin.com is a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. All my videos are on Rockfin ad-free. Thanks for watching.